Alright guys, let's fix a refrigerator. This one, we're going to change the compressor board in. This is the control board that mounts to the compressor. Little 3-prong connector. Alright. And since I'm by myself, I mean, even if you wasn't, these lift tables from Harbor Freight, this is the less expensive one. I think it's like $300. I just want to bring that up to the level about where the refrigerator is, just under it. We can lift it later. And this is going to help you get this guy in and out a lot easier. Okay, so now we can just slide the refrigerator out right onto, we can slide it out directly onto the dolly, and once you get a little bit of it out, just lift it up a little more. It's got about an inch. All right, you saw that? Just barely lift up on it, just enough so we can make a smooth transition. And this is going to, I'm gonna step on this thing to keep it from rolling back. I'm just gonna rock this, kind of shimmy this guy out. That's how far we've gotten it out so far. Straighten up my dolly again. And this way, we can get this out without damaging it, or the, you know, we don't want to bang this stuff up. And that's a pretty good drop. And that's over a foot, that's almost 2 feet. So we don't want to mess that up either. So as you can see, it's a lot easier to deal with this when you got this, this dolly here. Pull that baby out, and that's gonna really help you when it comes time to moving stuff like this. See how much is it on the plate. I got a little space at the top. I want to lift it a little more because it's out, and I want to clear the ledge. And now I want to, you know, it's kind of tight right there. Shimmy it all the way out. Stick my feet. All right. So I just use my foot to keep the wheel going back. And now, as you can see, I got most of my refrigerator, at least 2/3 needs to be on the cart so it doesn't tip back. Now that I got that on the cart, I can easily roll this thing out to where I can work on it. And if I can do that while recording and holding the phone, you guys, you know, this is making your life a lot easier, okay? That cut was already on the floor. Customer had a nail hanging from the slot. I mean, they built it like that. Somebody messed up at the factory, and then the slide was going out. When you first got it, the screw cut the floor. Pretty common, actually. All right, so the compressor board is down here. So we'll go ahead and remove the power wires and get this guy all the fasteners taken off, and let's get to that compressor board. Went ahead and took a couple photos, even though this one's color coded. The wires actually match up. So let's match up our parts here. Looks like our part is the same. So I'll just swap these over. Let's get rid of that guy right there. Looks like a fillet. And let's get this off. Now after you remove that one screw that goes right there, you can see the bracket back there, right? When I first started off in the dealership, you know, I was just a PDI tech, but we had to fix our own stuff. And they always told us that you couldn't replace this, that it was a part of the compressor. But that's not true. You can replace these compressor boards. They're not soldered on, welded on, you know, it's a removable part. As you're about to see, I got it removed. I'm gonna take all the wires off and put the new one on. All right, so it's like a little pin connector. The pins come straight out. You see those 3 prongs? You got the 3 holes corresponding right there. So that's how the connector goes straight on and straight off. So kind of gotta stick this in here first and flip it around. And then we're gonna get this thing on here. All right, so you pay attention to the orientation of this when you take it off. See how it's the small tapered end is pointing down. You got your white wire at the top on the outside, because this is just a 3-prong connector. You can put this thing on wrong. It's a triangle, so don't put it on wrong. Definitely don't want to do that. Put it back same way it was. So you can kind of see how that's on there. So put it back the same way. And now we just wire it back up. We'll turn it on and see if the compressor comes on, because with this fridge, the compressor never was turning on at all. I had my voltage and everything going into the compressor board, but the compressor was never turning on. So I'll know right away if this is going to work or not, because either this compressor is going to turn on or it's not. All right, now that we got that all connected back up, these are by far the best Nip strippers. I have like 3 or 4 different pair, and these cheaper ones, the $50 ones, they're way better than the $200 ones and the $150 ones. Those other ones, they're garbage. But while I got this out, I'll go around and open up the door and turn this on before I put it back in. Because if it doesn't work with this board, you know, and as you can see, the light's on. In 10 seconds. You know, compressor didn't come on. So these things, especially going through warranty, you gotta troubleshoot them with Lippert. They make the recommendation of what you're gonna do based on their recommendation of, come on, turn on. Run a jumper wire from the negative, from the ground to the T, which is the yellow wire, 10 gauge wire. If the compressor doesn't come on after that, then they say it's a compressor board, especially when you have power. Now, if you hook the jumper wire from this yellow connection at the bottom, the T, to the ground, and the compressor does turn on, then it's the control board. Well, I did a jumper wire, and during the testing, and it did come on. They told me this board. So guess what? Same problem. So I'll run the jumper again and see if it will now turn on, maybe some kind of electrical fault, and it hit both boards. I don't know, but this is what they're going to want you to do if you go through. And for the insurance, you got to do it. You got to fill out the warranty sheet, and the warranty sheet is going to say go from the negative terminal to this T right here with a piece of 10 gauge, and if the compressor comes on, then it's the top board. If it doesn't, it's the bottom board. Well, we did that and it didn't come on, so supposedly it was the bottom board, but now the bottom board has been changed, the compressor board has been changed, and it's still not coming on. So this is the old one. So now I'm gonna do that jumper test again to see if it will come on. And if it doesn't, have to call Lippert back so it can get documented on the case file, so they can just either send another board out, pay me to come out here again, or just replace the refrigerator. They're trying to not replace the refrigerator. That's why we're swapping these parts. It's not my call, guys. When you're doing stuff for warranty and they request that you work with the manufacturers, it's their call. So let me go get my 10 gauge jumper wire and perform that test, and I'll show you. I got a wire made up. One end has a banana clip on it. All right, so here's my little wire setup. 10 gauge wire on a, you know, you can put these clips on anything, and they want you to go from the negative, disconnect the T, and when you put that there, the compressor is supposed to start running. And if it does, then it's supposed to indicate a problem with the control board. But I'm doing that on this new one, and it's still not. I mean, I guess after you try all this stuff, at some point they say, oh, well, the compressor's bad. Well, if the compressor's bad, then you just have to replace the fridge. All right, we got the compressor running. It is running. It's very quiet. You can barely feel the vibration. I mean, they must have a great setup here. This thing just doesn't move very much. But it is running. That is getting hot and that is getting cold. Maybe. Felt a little cold right here. That's definitely getting hot. Yeah, that's definitely getting hot. And it's running. All right. It kicked in. I think what I had going on, guys, is I think it was running the whole time, but I was expecting a much more aggressive vibration, and I didn't know it was running. You can't hear it. Well, the AC is kind of loud, and I could barely feel anything with the gloves on. I took the gloves off. So it's definitely running now. And I did reset the fridge. I did, you know, did a little reset on the fridge. So, well, it's running. It's running, and my gas absorption fridge, I can put my hand in certain places on the cooling unit and I can feel stuff. But on this one I can't. I can just feel that this is noticeably hot, so it's transferring heat. I just can't feel the cold. So it's like a little expansion valve. So it's running. Now we gotta put it back together and see if it's going to cool. Now I'm not gonna hang around for that. It could take 8 hours. Really, they say 24 hours. But yeah, put this back together, get this fridge back in here. So we're gonna call this a win.